Okay, I want to talk a little bit about closures of the highway, especially Highway 75. We've gotten a lot of calls concerning that, along with the evacuations. And, first of all, on Highway 75 is, the governor gave me the ability to close that highway from Stanley to Highway 20. I won't do it. So, be calm about that. We take that very seriously. And any closures that we do, we've already put plans in place that if we have to close them, as you saw some of the fire activity, our plan is to close them only for a short period of time. If we have to run pilot cars, we'll do that. If we have to just keep one lane of traffic, we'll do that. So all the rumors about Highway 75 being closed and some of those things, it probably will not happen. And if it does, a short period of time. Concerning evacuations, you just got a great discussion about this fire activity and how fast it actually moved. We were doing a lot of contingency plans on evacuation with our concentration, in the north area and Warm Springs. And some of the things that we implemented was that reverse 911. And some of you who were evacuated probably got a phone call with a pre-recorded message. So all your addresses and phone numbers and those things have to be loaded in a database into a computer so that we can make those calls. So earlier in the day, while we're working with the Forest Service and the fire teams, of course we had Greenhorn and some of those areas, and that's what we concentrated on. Well, when we got the call came in, let's do Greenhorn, and then it said Golden Eagle. A couple minutes later, East Ford, and then it said Ohio Gulch, all the way to hospital. So that was 1,800 residents. So we didn't have the database loaded for that time, but we called a lot of people in to try and get those pre-recorded messages to you. We then had to put the law enforcement out there to go door to door. And there's been a lot of confusion of what is a voluntary evacuation, what is mandatory, what is the advisory of that. And so when you came in tonight, I hope you all got a definition of what we mean by those. And we're passing those out, and they're on this slip, so you have some idea what we're talking about in these evacuations. Once again, we take evacuations very seriously too, and we're working with them all the time because we know how it must be to be out of your home, and especially, when it takes to get 1,800 people moved out that quickly, a lot of you didn't have the time needed. So we looked at that event and we said, okay, what are some of the other areas that we may have problems with this wind event coming on Friday? So we're already putting contingency plans. In all the subdivisions, every little possibility we can to get the reverse 911 and you in the system, clear down to Haley, and all the subdivisions up and down in between. Not that we'll ever use them, but we're getting ready for that. We're putting the contingency plans together to get the manpower and so on to affect that. And then we are getting with the IC, with Forest Service, much sooner, so that our goal is to try and give you as much time as possible before we would say we need a mandatory evacuation. So that's why some of you clear down into Deer Creek and Zinc Spur and so on got an advisory today. Just because we are already trying to get you thinking about, not that it's going to happen, but doing some of the smart things you can with your home, start thinking about what, if I had to go, how that would work. So, that's what we've done. I also asked the governor for you've probably seen them, both the Air Guard and the National Guard. When we had to evacuate 1,800 people and then man 19 posts, it totally took out law enforcement for the entire county. Everybody was working just to do that. We didn't have enough people to do the rest of the job and the calls and the things that are coming in. So the National Guard and the Air Guard has just done a great job for us. They've come in, they're helping and assisting. some of your neighborhoods and manning some of those posts so that we can get law enforcement back on the road and back to controlling and assisting in this fire and answering some of those calls.
I've got one question for you all. If we have more questions, we can come up afterwards. First of all, before I forget, because I've already forgotten twice, for all the board ranch people, there's going to be a meeting immediately after here. Let's do it over here in this corner, okay, not on the screen. So right after the meeting, I guess those people could be going into their homes. So Walt, if we are under a voluntary evacuation, should we leave our house unlocked? And if so, will there be police checking who's coming into the area?
There was some conflicting information, I think, that came early maybe to the board ranch folks about this. It's our recommendation is when you leave your house, lock it. If we need to get into your house, we can do it. Firemen can do it. They have big axes, you know. But to us, I don't think we'll need to get in there. And, you know, it's more, you know, it's better to be secure, and we will be in the neighborhood for security.
Okay, just one more for you, Walt, because this is a good one. If you don't have a landline, will reverse 911 work on like people who just have cell phones? And if not, can they give us their cell phone numbers and put it in the database?
It won't work, and I'm not sure on the cell phone. Gene, do you know if that will work on the cell phone? You know, if we don't have a lot of those, because I know landlines are getting to be a thing in the past, but we can't not program that in. Is the answer to that. But maybe we can take that number and still get a call to you. If not, we'll be knocking on your door. Just one other thing that we implemented that I failed to bring up is, you know, we've been talking about carpooling and busing for a long time. And I think you've been seeing some of that. It was our ideas to try and put it into Haley to reduce the amount of cars going up there. There looked like there was a reduction today. Not a lot of people are using the bus, but I think there's more carpooling. That's going to be, the locations changed for tomorrow for those commuters right at the rodeo grounds in Haley. You can pull in there, do the bus, reduce the cars on the highway, because that 5 o'clock trip home is when we really need that highway clear. So thank you.
Okay. Before you go there, Walt, Gene Ramsey, would you stand up, please? Sheriff Walt Femling and Chief Deputy Gene Ramsey have been working 18, 20 hours a day, and they stand here to represent all the law enforcement people that are